Good day, everyone. I am Alyssa Jane Galvadores.
I'm Danica Rose Hermosora.
And I am Hannah Jane Lopres.
For today's video, let's talk about Chinese mathematics.
Chinese ancient mathematics had its own line of development, its own method of thinking, and even its own style of presentation. It is not only independent of, but even quite different from the Western mathematics as descendants of Greeks. Chinese mathematics was defined by the Chinese in ancient time as the art of calculation, or suanshu. This art was both a practical and spiritual one, which covered a wide range of subjects from religion and astronomy to water control and administration.
Shang Dynasty, 1600 to 1050 BC. One of the oldest surviving mathematical works is the Qing, which greatly influenced written literature during the Zhou Dynasty, 1050 to 256 BC. For mathematics, the book included a sophisticated use of hexagrams. Libris pointed out the Qing or Yijing contain elements of binary numbers. Since the Shang period, the Chinese had already fully developed a decimal system. Since early times, Chinese understood basic arithmetic, which dominated Far Eastern history. Algebra, equations, and negative numbers, which counting rods.
Even as mathematical developments in the ancient Greek world were beginning to falter during the final centuries BCE, the burgeoning trade empire of China was leading Chinese mathematics to ever greater heights. The simple but efficient Chinese numbering system, which dates back to at least the second millennium BCE, used small bamboo rods to represent the number 1 to 9. Which were then placed in columns representing units, tens, hundreds, thousands, and etc. It was therefore a decimal place value system, very similar to the one we use today. Indeed, it was the first such number system adopted by the Chinese over 1,000 years before it was adopted in West. And it made even quite complex calculation very quick and easy. Written numbers, however, employed the slightly less efficient system of using a different symbol for tens, hundreds, thousands, and etc. This was largely because there was no concept of symbol of zero, and it had the effect of limiting the usefulness of the written number in Chinese. The use of abacus is often through of a Chinese idea, although some type of abacus was in use in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Greece, probably much earlier than in China. The first Chinese abacus, or swanpan, we know of dates to about 2nd century BCE.
This time we'll do a further study about what is Chinese rod numerals and how to transcribe them. In pre-imperial China, such seemingly abstract figures could be expressed with some simple counting rods, and from them calculations of value made. Typically, counting rods were made from bamboo, but other materials were also used like bone, ivory, or metal. This set of ivory counting rods was unearthed in the number 1 hand tomb of the Yusheng Palace in Sanxin's Xianyang County. It has 28 rods, each of which is 0.4 centimeters in diameter, 13.5 centimeters in length. They are all equal in size and length.
他们是怎么用他们的方法来表示数字的？古人摆出来的数字有几种表示啊？
Rod numerals are expressed by placing the rods either in the perpendicular or horizontal planes. In the perpendicular, when representing numbers from 1 to 5, each rod represents one digit. For numbers from 6 to 9, one rod placed horizontally represents 5, and a perpendicular rod placed below represents 1. Alternatively, the numerals can be expressed by horizontal placement, taking priority only 5 rods are ever used. When denoting multi-digit numbers, each digit is displayed from left to right in descending value. 0 is expressed by a gap. Calculation with counting rods follows the same principles as the decimal system. Add 1 into the higher digit when the sum of the lower digit is over 10, and 1 borrowed from the higher digit is regarded as 10. When 1,643 and 375 are added together, the 4 and 7 on the 10 position digit make 11. After we add 1 onto a 100 position, it rolls up to 10. So the thousands position also needs a 1 to be added. So we get 2018. When the rods can be handled fluently, they can be used to calculate the answer to many practical problems in building, agriculture, logistics, and welfare. In the 16th century era of counting rods came to an end, to be completely replaced by the abacus. Though the rods will be placed by beads, the decimal system rules remain unchanged. The new technologies and improved tools have simplified calculation to the touch of a button, but an understanding of the basis of the system remains essential. And inscriptions on bones are tortoise shells more than 3,000 years ago. Merchants could use the 13 characters for the numbers from 1
to 10
to 100 to 1,000 and a 10,000 to notate any natural number up to 100,000. Over-recording methods have changed. A decimal system has triumphed throughout. It's everywhere in our lives. Decimal measurements can be used to express all the patterns and principles of science and society, from everyday activities like shopping to high finance and artificial intelligence. It's all just numbers. Numbers that we usually take as for granted, as a simple bundle of sticks. That's all for today.
We hope that you have learned many things from our short educational video.
Thank you for watching.